All right, welcome everybody to Plan Your Greatness. All right, I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And first of all, you see my shirt, Beacon Hill Family Reunion. Give a shout out, that's where I'm from. Small town right outside of Chicago, south of Chicago, called Chicago Heights. And more specifically, the area is called Beacon Hill. If you grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago, you know Beacon Hill. It's very well known as far as just activity, and so I'm very proud to be from there, because I think I wouldn't be the person I am now if I didn't grow up in there. But all right, let's get right to it. Welcome again to Plan Your Greatness. Again, I'm your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton, and I am extremely excited about today's weigh-in. Now, when I got on the scale today, I worked out, but it was a very short workout. It was about maybe 20 minutes or so, but I got in a very good workout. I was at the gym, and then some kids had the court, because I do a lot of basketball stuff. Anyway, I jumped on the scale when I got home, when I got here to the home office, and the scale said 250. Maybe slightly over it, but right around 250. And I remember looking at my piece of paper, and I started out at around somewhere between 265, 270. I would say maybe closer to 265. So I have lost a legitimate 15 pounds. And I'm sure I bet you if you can go back to the very early videos and then look at those, and then look at my face right now, at about the 15-pound mark, you start seeing some results. But so I'm excited, down to 250, and so the next goal is to cross over into the 240s. Then again, we're going to be going down a little bit and getting down to the 230s. All right, so our topic for today, but again, let's do a little housekeeping, and that is, you will be able to, as we go live, you will be able to go to planyourgreatness.com. You'll be able to email us at, right now, I just have the Gmail, so it's planyourgreatness@gmail.com. You can actually access us on Twitter. It's I think it's Plan Your Great N1. But if you look up Plan Your Greatness, then it'll come up, and then you'll either see a baseball player or some sort of symbol that signifies that that's the true Plan Your Greatness page. We're on Snapchat, Plan Your Greatness. We're on Instagram, Plan Your Greatness. We're on Facebook, Plan Your Greatness. So we're working on getting all these things in sync, getting out the messages. So when this stuff goes live, you're going to be able to get the greatness gear, shirts, hoodies. You'll be able to order the book, access maybe chapters if you want something very specific in chapters, because a lot of people don't want to read the whole thing, but there's going to be very specific chapters that talk specifically about the information that you're looking for. So I'm excited about the technology having that sort of very niche advantage that, you don't have to buy the whole thing. You can just get what you want. All right. So topic for today, I had to take some notes, because a lot of times I'm coming up with these bangers, and it requires me to write down quite a few notes, so I stay on track, because I don't want to start talking about something and then just get off on a tangent. So the notes and my little piece of notebook paper, it actually keeps me focused, so I don't want to take too long, because I've watched people's videos and they just go off on a tangent. They're on there for like an hour. I no more than 20 minutes at the most, and I'm trying to keep it a lot less than that. All right, so this is the second part in the 3-part series of the 3 questions. What do you want? Why do you want it? And using your imagination and not your memory, can you actually see what it is that you are trying to accomplish? All right, so a couple things we want to take into consideration as we're doing that is we're asking right now the second question. What is your why? Okay, so that why is the same thing as why do you want what you want? Okay, when you make that declaration, there's got to be something that when you say it, it triggers an emotional, very much like a child when you tell them about you're about to get some candy, or you about to, like when I was a kid and I was talking about this the other day. No, actually today I was talking about with one of my transportation clients. We were talking about how much of a treat it was when our parents took us to McDonald's. And nowadays, and how, just the things that we grew up with. Now, just think about that. When you are striving for a goal, how much does it really just get your juices flowing to think of what it is? Closing your eyes and imagining it. What does it feel like? Because your current eyes can't see that, but you can go into your mind's eye and put that image in your brain, or just pull it out. And and what I'm saying is, it should evoke emotions, very childlike, very intense, make you feel giddy. And in some cases, it should bring you to tears to know what you're going to have to do to accomplish that goal. All right. So think about that. Now, it becomes very important that once you decide what you want, you now decide why you want. Because if you're lacking in that purpose, that why, what you're doing, and I think I mentioned this before, you begin to just wander through your existence as a tool for other people to use. You have skills, but because it's not focused, you're just a tool. And if you don't know what your skill set is, other people will tend to recognize that, and then they'll hire you for that. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're an entrepreneur, you know what your skill set is, and you actually market it and hire it so you can actually make a higher wage. But if you don't know what your value is, you'll do something for basically nothing. Okay? So as we understand, what our why is, and we are emotionally moved, that is the fuel. That is the emotional and the psychological fuel to keep us going, to get us going every day. Because here's what I also shared as I was taking one of my business travelers home, is the understanding is that your philosophy has to be higher than your feelings. Because we were talking about this. We said there are days when you wake up and you feel like shit. You do not feel like getting out of bed, but you know what? You got mouths to feed. You've got other people that are dependent on you. You've got a philosophy in your head that says, it doesn't matter what I feel like. I have a philosophy that is going to supersede any way that I feel at any point in time. So that's going to carry me through that. So understanding that and I have this saying, understanding that your philosophy has to be higher than your feelings. If not, your feelings are going to trick you into, go back to bed. Crawl right up under that blanket. Go ahead and eat that bag of chips. Drink that soda instead of drinking the water. You see what I mean? But if you have a philosophy that goes, man, I'm trying to get down to 220, which is what I'm doing right now. Man, I'm trying to be a great athlete. Man, I'm trying to move up in this company. Man, I'm not going to eat that over. I'm trying to save because I want to invest in something. You see what I'm saying? Your philosophy on whatever it is that you're trying to do is going to be higher, and it's going to help you make better decisions. All right. Now, one of the things that comes to mind is that while I was in prison and I was going through this process of asking myself, Carlton, what do you want? Why do you want it? My parents actually came for a visit, and my father shared something with me that was an absolute shift, because you have to know specifically what your why is for. My father told me in the visitation room with my mother, he said, you know what? Your mom has basically put her life on hold. She doesn't have any conversations about you. She avoids them. I had a cousin out here at the time that wanted to visit me, and she would avoid it like the plague. And my father did too, as far as just not talking about it. So after that visit, that I had a special visit. I had two. So my mother and father got to see me both days. They got to see me Saturday and Sunday. All right. But after that last visit, I went back to my cell and I buried my face in the pillow and I just cried and cried and cried. Because what I realized at that moment, I said, how dare I make decisions? Or the understanding is I was not aware of how my decisions were impacting other people's lives. And the person that saved me, that birthed me, saved me, protected me, loved me more than anyone else, and probably loved me when I didn't really love myself, was my mother. And here I was just really continuing on the stuff that I did. Because there was a early part of my life where I was getting in so much trouble. She introduced me to baseball. So when she introduced me to baseball, there became a 20-year window from the time that I was 10 to basically 30 that I was out of trouble. And it was because she introduced me to baseball. Now here I am again. Baseball was removed. Then all of a sudden I went right back to doing the nonsense that I did before. So here I am again, just making my mom relive the garbage that I had done in the past. So I made a promise to myself, and that became my why. I said, I will be a better person. I will be a different person. I am going to get out of here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I know one of my goals was that I was going to be a college graduate. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on. But I set my goals high. I said I was going to get out of here and become a motivational speaker and author. All the things that I'm doing right now, I said that in prison. Now, this is something I want you all to really, really, really understand. Okay? Really understand this point. When you're 13, you really are really set in your ways on how you think about things, okay? Very early on. Then you go from 13 to 25 because insurance companies will tell you that at that particular time, insurance rates go down because if you're a decent driver